Basically what I'm going to do, whistle blows, I'm getting an ankle and a chest grab at the same time to kind of set this up. I want to stop this guy's movement and keep all the weight moving forward here. Alright, once I get that little nudge, I'm going to an inside ankle right away. I'll slip off the outside, going to the inside. So as I get here, I want to keep constant pressure right here because my goal is to get this guy to react. Two things are going to happen. He's either going to fall over and not fight me, or most guys are stubborn and don't want to get broken down, and he'll bring this leg up, which is the goal of this move. The more I drive into him, the more realistic this is going to be because he's going to fight me. And that's how I set this up. Just this guy's neck stays straight, he's strong. As soon as I turn his head, he loses all his power in his legs and his back by just bending his neck. So that's where I'm going, that's where the cradle is going to come from and set this up. So as I'm on the inside ankle right here, I'm going to come across and get as high as I can, almost up behind the shoulder. Problem I have, a lot of people have, is when you grab on the elbow, he can still move his head, and he's strong here. Alright, so what I do is I take his power away by coming up, and I grab above his shoulder, right, like almost up in the armpit. Alright, as high as I can. It's going to slip when we start going, but this now locks it in. Again, I'm driving in. I'm going to tap this head hard. You know, I'm not punching him, but I'm being aggressive here. And then I'm going to just walk up to the head right there. Get his shoulder to his knee. And from here, I stay on this side, and I'm just going to come underneath and get my lock. I don't want to jump. A lot of times you'll see kids, they'll come here, and they'll go get their lock. And this guy now, he's got enough strength to kind of break this through. So I'm going to stay on the same side as I attack and get my lock. I'm going to stay on this side right here and get my lock. Now from here, once I get this lock, it moves pretty much over. I'm going to jump back through on this side. Different kids are better defensively with cradles. I mean, some kids are going to fight at the very end. If I step up and try to get in front of this foot, some guys are real good. They can toe hook you. When you go to take them over, they'll put you on your back. So I want to stay out behind that by blocking them off with my knee. And I'll use my elbow. As I drop my elbow down, I'll get that and I'll pick it up right here. All right. A lot of things, what this does is it clears my chest and my shoulder from his back when you take a kid over. I don't want to get caught underneath him when I go for a pin. Sometimes we'll slide underneath this guy and it's hard to pin him. But right now, he's already cleared. His shoulder blades are cleared. All right. And I can take him straight back from here. There's nothing underneath him from hitting this cradle. And I'm pulling this away at the same time I'm pulling my hand and I'm bringing my elbow up. He can tell you right there, it takes all his oxygen out. That arm's on the ankle and I'm just going to slightly drive into him. When I feel that leg come up is when I'm going to attack. And I'm coming off hard, catching that shoulder. All right. This arm is going to slide right off to his back of his hamstring right here. And then I'll run out towards the head right here. He can reach up all he wants with that free arm. It does nothing. I'll grab my lock right now, and then I can just kick this leg free, and I'm jumping right to the side right here. I'll use my elbow right here, and I'll slide my elbow behind his heel to pick that up. All right. It feels natural to just want to step up, but sometimes this is what can happen when you get in trouble. So do here. So as I chop, all right, and he starts fighting back, that's when it locks things in because I have a bump in the back and my tight waist stays very tight. And I'm going to attack this head. And when I attack the head, it's like holding a football. I want to get this, I want his head to go right to my forearm. And I want to take it all the way over to my hip. And I'm not turning the neck. Some kids will turn their neck sideways, which doesn't really do anything. But if I can take his head all the way across, my goal is to take this head so far up that I'm crunching his back. And to take the pressure off the guy's lower back, what they do is they bring that inside knee up because it frees it up. All right, that's how they take pressure off the back when you put his neck in a position like this. So as I'm chopping and I'm driving, I'm coming over and I'm getting the head. And as I do this, I'm going to look up with my other knee right here, and this opens this up. All right, I'm pulling and I'm sagging everything down right now. I'm pulling it down. All right, guys feel like they want to just he'll tripod from here most of the times, which even makes it easier to cradle, right? Because there's so much pressure going and so much pull. That's what will happen. So as I chop and I have the bump in the back and I'm chopping and he's pushing back, that's when I make this transition here And this knee is going to start to turn up as I pull. And I almost sag to the ground with this, like all my weight. He can tell you that's pretty heavy. And then from here, I'm going to come underneath and get my lock. On this one, I am going to just lock my fingers because it's too hard to come all the way through. I don't need that. I need this so I can take my elbows together. All right. So, off the chop, I got a good tight waist right here. The guy's fighting me. He won't go down. I'm going to attack this head and pull it over. All right. Now from here, I can get my lock. Lock here. Right here. Alright, this elbow stays clamped tight as I pull that to my hip, and this knee stays up right here. This elbow stays tight. And what I'm going to do from this motion is I'm going to sit. This foot is extremely important. As I go to roll this over, I'm almost hooking his toe with my foot. All right, so this is my elevator. A lot of times you see guys, when they take cradles over, kids will get caught on their own back and open themselves because they go completely across their back. I mean, for us, it's very dangerous because if you guys he gets his arm free, he's putting me on my back. So to avoid that, I don't ever want to go to my back. Alright? When I say go to my back, guys will actually bridge right here and they'll go to take them over and that arm gets free. And that's when they get in trouble. So to stop that, I go over my hips. Alright? And I use my elevator. This foot is an elevator as I set this up and I chop and I get this right now and I get my lock. My bottom foot right now is an elevator and I'm going to take them over my hips. From one hip right here. This is my elevator. This is why I gotta have that toe hooked. And there's my elevator. And when I come out on top right here, and now from here, I sag and I go get my lock right here. Now this foot is the one that's gonna use it as an elevator. All right. As I take them over and I look up, this foot elevates it. And I come back on top right here. All right. Everything stays forehead on the mat, both feet wide. He's kicking, there's nowhere for him to go. There's nothing again. I'm totally out from underneath him, so his shoulder blades can hit. He can tell you when I really put pressure on here, it gets real tight. Everything stays intact, so as I punch out here, I come out to the side as I block right here. Now it doesn't matter, I can come up as far as I want with my knees. When I pick the head up, all the power goes away on his back, so I pick the head up, and now I'm going to run everything to it. Alright, that's how I make this guy's power go away. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use my elbow, bring this up, and I'm going to pinch. Alright? Once I get this foot between my legs, I can rotate through now behind. Alright? This actually makes it tighter when I get this, because now I'm pulling this elbow to my head, or to his head, and it takes a lot of the air away. Now from here, I'm going to high leg this leg right behind as I go. And I raise my knee up. Now I've caught this in my lap. If you notice, it's setting it up to be very tight right now. Because I'm going to keep pulling, and I'm going to walk his foot right over his head. I have to readjust, because if I just go right now, I'm going to get too high. So as I go, I'll readjust and drop. Just like a half. All right? And it gets tight. Once I put that foot over his head.